I have one other question. And I know that you've talked about this a lot in your tapes, and I haven't listened to all your tapes, but what form of consciousness does our soul take after this life experience? I mean, do we think and feel similar to the way we think and feel now, or is it more like...
Let's lay a little basis here. First of all, you are source in a physical body. And so we don't think that you really fully know who you really are until you get on a jag of feeling good for a few months. In other words, once you really show yourself that you can choose thoughts that allow the fullness of who you really are to flow, then a question like that is easier for us to answer, because then we say, you're going to feel just like you feel now. Invincible, excited, adventurous, eager, stable, secure. In other words, the personality of your inner being is one of confidence and yet humility, in the sense that you know that you will continually expand. And so when you are physically focused and you've practiced thoughts that have sort of pinched that off, then from that pinched off sometimes point of view, you try to imagine what it would be like to be spirit, or to be that non-physical energy. And sometimes as you listen to those like us describe the non-physical, it worries you because you can feel that it is less focused, because after all, you are out here on the leading edge. And you worry that since in the non-physical you have no eyes so you don't see, and you have no ears so you don't hear, and so on, that it will be sort of a dark, quiet, uncomfortable place. And we say it isn't that at all. In fact, it is more delicious, because your capacity to translate vibration is thousands of times more. It would be like feeling sorry for your dog because he cannot hear exactly as you do. And your dog would say, get real, I can hear a whole lot better than you can. Or feeling sorry for your dog because he doesn't smell exactly as you do. And your dog would say, get real, I can smell a whole lot better than you can. And so your inner being is that way. Your inner being can sense and evaluate and conclude and know so much more articulately, so to speak, than you do in your physical format. When you make your transition into the non-physical, you will clearly and wholly know who you are. There will be no sense, not a moment's sense, of not knowing who you are. You will have full consciousness. The only difference is you'll feel utterly good about who you are. There will be no guilt, no blame. There will be no lack of feeling of worthiness. The best of you is who you are there. Jerry helps us answer this question more fully by reminding us of an incident he had when he was very early in his understanding of all of this. He was in the back of a pickup truck with a friend, with this friend's children. They were riding a mountain pass, and the friend said, the brakes on this truck are not working very well, but don't worry about it because I can brake using the gears. And Jerry said, have you been doing this long? And he said, yes, for quite a long time. It works very well. And Jerry believed him, since his old children were in the back of the pickup truck. So Jerry climbed in too, and he is tutoring the children in Spanish in a little book with a flashlight as they are in the dark driving this mountain pass. And Jerry hears him trying to shift down, and he realizes that the momentum is such he's let them go too fast, and he cannot get the truck into the lower gear, and they are not slowing down, they are going faster. And Jerry said to the children, this is it. And sure enough, the driver turned the truck up into the hillside to try to stop it, which was wise. The crevasse on the other side, not such a good choice. And the truck turned over. And Jerry recalls his knees hitting the pavement. There was a canvas top that protected him. And he recalls thinking, well, now that wasn't so bad. And then the truck fell on them. And he lost consciousness briefly. And when he regained consciousness, he reported, and has done so ever since, I am no longer afraid of death, because in one moment I am fully conscious, and in the next moment it's all over. Nothing to be afraid of. And we said, that's nothing like what death is. Because in death there is no loss of consciousness. In fact, we said humans are the only species anywhere in the universe that we've ever found that can find a way to be unconscious. Because when you die, you reemerge instantly into your full consciousness. You become supernova consciousness. You become more consciousness. You do not become less consciousness. Esther can help you to understand this by saying to you what it's like to have Abraham flowing through her. People say, oh, Esther, it's so nice of you to sacrifice your life, so many hours of your life by allowing Abraham to flow through you while you go off in the corner and just be dead. And Esther says it is nothing like that. When Abraham flows through me, I am present, I hear it, I know it, I am it. It is more of an experience for me. It is not less of an experience for me. And that's what it's like to die, friend. It is super consciousness, super awareness, love beyond description, well-being. Now don't go jump off of buildings, because there's great value in being here. In fact, that gate swings both ways. In other words, you do not have to reemerge into non-physical to have that. You can find vibrational harmony with that now and live it now. In the specifics of what you are focused upon, how good is that? Yes.
Ultimate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. And that has been on tapes here and there, but never like that. Yes. Yes. Here? How are you? Extremely well. Full of yourselves. That's what inspired is, isn't it? I'm a vibrational match to the spirit within.